saw my father cry. Oh, anyway.
And that's the second time I masturbated to you crying at the thought of your friend. Well, are we still going? Oh,
welcome back.
Oh.
Where were you guys? Yeah. Dom Irrera live from the Laugh Factory with Adam Ray today. Just talking about he graduated from USC.
Yeah.
Acting school.
Yeah.
Look at that head of hair. He's going to make it fast. He's handsome. He's funny. I want to talk to him now while he's on the way up.
Jesus.
So he remembers me for a part of the neighbor in his sitcom.
God, I would love to have you play my neighbor in anything.
Hey, yeah, why don't you play the neighbor? I always like that. Like it's so easy. Yeah. Like we have a choice.
But how many people do you know that are that delusional that either suggest? Because my mom is the person in my life like that, where she's like, you know what you should do? You should try to get in a movie.
Right.
I'm like, sure.
That's a good idea.
Or hey, you know what? I keep watching. I keep seeing all these cop shows. You should play one.
You look.
You could be a cop.
Blue.
Yeah.
I had my friend O'Hanlon's mother used to say to me, "Why don't you just do soap operas until you know?
Just do it.
Just do a soap. You know that? You mean instead of parking cars at the River Cafe, do a soap opera? Nah. I like the fresh air.
Yeah, your idea of making it is clearly skewed.
But as if it's that easy, you know. You know what always kills me? It's like, but this guy sucks. You're as good as him. You know. Thanks. I appreciate that.
There's so many ways to give backhanded compliments from people who aren't in our.
They mean it half the
No,
time.
they don't. They just don't get it.
Yeah.
And I never hold my friends for. I got friends still that are trying to critique my stand-up, who there's no funny bone in their body. God bless them. They'll be like, you know what I think you need to do, man? That one joke you did about the pot and the kids.
Yeah.
It was like I think if you go slower at that part when you do the kid voice, it's people are gonna appreciate it more. Oh, because that's what I'm trying to do. Get them to appreciate the joke.
I love that. I love when they critique shit they don't know anything about, and also give you material. You ever get people give you like when they just give you this blank thing, and you're supposed to write something on it.
Yeah.
You know, my cousin Pogi goes to me one time, we're in a car. He goes, "Hey Dom, rug shampoo." I go, "What about it?" He goes, "Could you do something with that?" I go, "Well, fuck, you can do something with anything if you're creative enough."
He doesn't even give you a premise. Just
no.
Here's something I saw at the store.
Yeah.
Hey, daylight savings. What are your thoughts on that?
The difference
run with it. You're the comedian.
Yeah, run with it. I like that.
I had a buddy leave me a message once. I hadn't talked to him from high school in probably 5-6 years, and he just following you on whatever, and so he leaves me this message. He goes, it was when the Dorito taco came out, and he goes, "Hey man, you see this new anyway? Hey Fred, what's up, dude? Been a while. Know you're doing comedy. Hope it's going well. I see your videos on YouTube. That's cool, dude. I know a couple guys with YouTube videos. Anywho, so I don't know, man. But Taco Bell's got this Dorito taco shell, and like I just imagine that it's just a bunch of fat fucks eating that shit. So maybe you do something where like you do a video with a guy just eating a bunch of fucking tacos, and then he just feels bad about himself. I don't know, man. But it hit me.
Yeah, but
I don't know. Yeah, they cut themselves off before they even get into it.
He's editing his own bullshit. I don't know where people. First of all, do you ever ask anybody to critique you? I mean, do you ever ask anybody to watch you, or do you ever ask a friend?
No, even when I started, you hear stories of guys who will see veterans in the club, and they'll go, "Hey, can you watch my set?" Right?
Yeah.
But even I don't know.
I never ask anybody,
or for tags or anything.
I don't ask for compliments or for critique.
No, you look great, by the way, today.
Thank you. You do too. It's a good color for you. It's that gray. It sets off your olive skin. But I don't know. Like, who the fuck asked you? I remember one time, I was so embarrassed. I was at the Improv, and it was a big deal to get on then.
Yeah.
Right. And I get on. I was trying to get a PA agent, and the guy, the agent starts talking to me. I think I had a good enough set for him to want me anyway.
Yeah.
And Jay Leno comes out, and he goes, "Yeah, you're as funny as anybody in 20 minutes, but you got to do it and then be clean." And I go, "Oh, all right," and I call him up.
Be clean. I know something about clean.
Who the fuck asked you?
Yeah.
I said, I appreciate the sentiment. I call the guy, file this. Did I ask you to critique me? You know how fucking embarrassed I was? And I know that
he did it in front of a bunch of people?
Did it in front of the guy that was coming in to see me do stand-up. I don't.
You think he was trying to just,
I think he was actually trying to help me. It just was inappropriate, Yeah,
you got to have, there's no tact out here. I mean, the way people... I feel like I'm constantly seeing, not to bring the fucking mood of the podcast down.
Well, don't bring this podcast down, Adam Ray. No, it doesn't have to be all comedy. Believe me, you should see some of the people we've had.
Okay, cool. Well, my parents split up when I was 8, and
is that true?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to top you. I was 7, but mine split up.
Fuck you. For real?
I'm telling you.
Wow.
fuck you.
I knew we were bonded on a deeper level.
They left, and who did you live with? Your mom, right?
Yeah, always, right?
It's not the father usually that gets the kids. They don't.
Yeah. Well, also he had so the woman he was messing around with, they ended up getting pregnant and having a couple other kids.
That happened to me too.
For real?
I swear to God, I'm not trying to ruin your story. You got
brothers?
a good story. What?
Are we brothers?
I think we are. I feel like I'm looking into a mirror when I look at you. For Christ's sake.
Well, then let me ask you this: for me, because at that age, my sister was 2 years older. She was much more aware of just like the fighting and all the bullshit. So for me, I was just like, oh, I still get to see him, right? Okay, cool. Like,
how old were you?
Deal? I'm
you were
30
7
right now.
And you were 8 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting age because you're starting to be aware of shit.
But still just not totally affected enough to go like to understand the implications of everything.
So you weren't really hurt.
No, I was like, well, I mean, but seeing like my mom, I think when like she found out that my dad was like that woman was pregnant and seeing that face on her, like that was kind of she doesn't seem like she really likes that news.
Yeah.
But the most
even as an 8-year-old, I got to call a timeout here. This could be serious.
But seeing her, and I'm curious if this is how it was for you. But the worst part was, the counseling that they try to put you in. Like it's fucking some random dude that's just like, so how do you feel about your dad not loving your mom anymore? I'm like, dude, I don't even fucking know you. Stop giving me granola bars. And but seeing my mom date other people was like the traumatic part. That's when it got real. Because like I remember leaning out my window, little chubby kid, and I would see her like first time I saw her kiss this other dude, and I screamed. Wow. I screamed all sorts of obscenities that I didn't even know where I was. I just took every swear word I knew. I was like, "You boner AIDS fucking cocksucker," and he's looking up. He's like, "You just call me a boner AIDS cocksucker?"
A Tourette's kid.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the fact that you brought it up so early. No, seriously, I'm serious. That it affects you your whole life.
I think so.
In certain ways.
I've suppressed a lot of it though. I don't talk about I never went to counseling for. Don't talk about it with my mom ever. This is the first
you're on Don Irrera Live from Laugh Factory. You talk to it in front of hundreds of people. No, I mean it has a profound effect on you. It does. I mean, I know that I ended up cheating on my wife. This like the patterns continue. Yeah. I'm not excusing it, but I'm saying I'm not blaming it. But you have to break it, just like any kind of molestation. You have to break the pattern.
Totally.
How are you? How do you relate to women now?
I mean, I think growing up with my mom and sister. I mean, I'm definitely like, I've had 3 serious relationships. 2 of them were long distance, which was great and not great. But I mean, I love being single right now. I can't see myself doing it again for a long time because I'm just emotionally spent because I put so much into that, and I think I definitely became a come to the rescue, like try to solve the problem, like a codependent. I think I made the women that I was dating who were very smart and like driven and everything, but I made them feel very safe that they could kind of drop all their shit on me because when I was younger I would do that with my mom and sister when they would fight and my mom going through shit. I'd like peer mediate, so I think I became like come to me.
You saw your mother and father fight, or your sister saw more of it?
My sister saw more of it. Yeah.
I was devastated.
Yeah.
When they broke, I remember running down this basement and thinking, I don't have my father anymore.
Yeah.
And so I can relate to it. I just want, it's everybody feels it or doesn't feel it in a different way, but it fucking affects you.
Totally.
There's no team of therapists could ever exercise that totally from you.
Yeah.
It affects the way you relate to women, the way you relate to the world. You're not as trusting, you know. And then the fact that he had kids, and that same thing happened with my father. How do you relate to? Are you?
Cool with them now. I'm gonna go visit them over the holidays.
Yeah, me too.
And actually,
I swear to God, I'm going to visit mine in North Carolina.
Did you play Wolverine at Universal Studios?
Yes, I was Wolverine.
Because that's also something that was a part.
That's
of my,
funny.
Now,
where are they at?
They're in Seattle. Now let me ask you this: I consider like when I first started comedy, people were like, and I was seeing that, and people were trying to say like, oh, talk about the pains in your life because every comic has. So I immediately thought of our divorce and then being a fat kid for like 4 or 5 years and then all the teasing. I bring this up because in watching old clips of yours, you had great just fat people and fat just jokes that I really appreciated because that's like all I wrote when I first started.
I had great fat jokes?
Yeah.
Really?
You don't remember? How much of your stuff from like you were doing one, I think it was on The Tonight Show when Leno was filling in for Carson. And it was like, we got a great guy. He's going to be at the Bananas Comedy Club. And Bananas, bananas. And I was like, fuck you, man. Just fucking, he's working. But he just, like, "Well, banana of comedy, go ahead and give me a foot."
That's funny.
And you did this joke where you said, you love when people use the term big boned.
Oh yeah, big bone. Right.
Yeah, to like maybe I guess.
Pretty big bone you got in your
hanging over your belt.
Hanging over your belt there, Benny.
Giant bone in your ass there.
It's quite, yeah.
So funny, man.
I never wrote them on purpose, but I guess, and it's so funny now because this is the first time in my life I'm overweight. This is
Are
only,
you?
yeah, I'm quite overweight for me. But I mean, it's only been the last 3 years.
Right.
Because I took steroids.
What?
I couldn't fucking hit out of the park. I was hitting the morning track. No,
Well,
I had the
tough
shingles.
to hit it off a tee, man.
It is. I had the shingles, and I had to take steroids, and I got bloated, and I never went back. But anyway, so now my joke's coming back to haunt me. Now I'm talking because I never wanted to do self-deprecating humor.
Right.
But
yeah, how you do a decent amount of it now, yeah.
Well, I had one joke, I think, on Craig Ferguson that was, you're getting fat when you say you're getting fat in front of your friends. Nobody corrects you. I forgot that.
So funny.
You're just like, come on, could somebody throw me a bone?
No, yeah.
Here?
What do you say? You go, God, I'm getting fat. And they go, yeah. Can you pass the salt, man?
Yeah. Yeah. This is good. This salad's good. Maybe you should try some.
Those little hints where they,
right.
My grandparents would do that when I was a kid. I'd be like, what's great about, eating at our house is like we never have to waste food because I always eat seconds and thirds.
Right.
I said that knowingly just as an innocent little fat kid. And my grandpa, I remember, just looks at me and goes, well,
you don't have to.
Maybe you shouldn't do that.
Ooh, Graham, thanks for the support.
You hear the studio audience go, ooh.
Hurting a little kid.
Yeah, dude.
So how fat were you? No, but I mean, you were like a fat kid, like.
I wish I had like a headshot of me right now, the way you asked.
Were you that fat?
Would I got fat headshots?
No, but were you like fat?
No, I was like.
Would people look at you and go, "Who's the fat kid?" Slow down. The fat kid can't keep up.
Let's just say that at one point in snack time in 6th grade, there was a girl in my desk area. Her name was Jill Warren. She had like fang teeth. Hey, you're in that grade. Your teeth aren't coming in right yet. And she had a bag of crackers, and she goes, "You want my crackers?" And I was like, "What is that, a fucking joke?" Obviously, I want more food at this point.
Look at me. Yeah, I want your crackers. You got any butter?
What do I get? And so she gives them to me, and then I start chowing down, and she starts giggling. And I'm like, "Well, why are you laughing?" As they're, I'm chewing, and she goes, "My brother farted on those crackers."
Oh.
You think that stopped me?
Oh well.
A couple fart crackers. You think that's gonna stop my fucking appetite?
Who the fuck farts on crackers? You can tell your brother he's retarded.
But so I was probably, I'd say, one in fifth grade, between 170 and 180.
Wow,
that's big. And then I lost like.
You know what I weighed in fucking freshman year?
What?
105.
Oh God.
And I played football.
What?
I swear to God, I was fucking crazy.
Did you get lit up?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was fast, but I was a fucking little kid.
Yeah.
105.
Wow.
Yeah. So you were 170, 180 pounds?
I think 170. Yeah. I remember looking on the scale at one point. I haven't stepped on a scale in years. I mean, now you just try to gauge it in the mirror, which is not smart. But I remember I'd get on the scale. And then when my mom was like, "You're going to have to wear a suit for your bar mitzvah. You can't just wear sweatpants." And I was like, "Well, let me talk to the rabbi." He was like, "No, you can't wear sweats." And I was like, "All right."
Oh, because you couldn't fit in regular pants?
Well, like you got to wear a suit, and I was because I would wear like warm ups and shorts, and just easy.
Stretch pants. That's the answer. Stretchy pants. One size fits all.
I thought about it. So she goes, "You should, you got to go on a diet." A fat kid going on a diet, especially in elementary school, spreads like wildfire.
Oh, he's on
like
a
our
diet.
6th grade.
He's on a diet.
Oh yeah, teachers calling you out for it. We had a 6th grade party at the end of the year. And tons, just every snack, food, for all the kids, pizza and chips and all this shit. I remember walking over to the table in front of the parents, with a group of parents who were chaperones, and I'm getting like some veggies. And, and they're just looking at me like, well, this is, it's like a, help me out here. I'm trying to think of a metaphor of a fat kid going for the veggies.
Oh, it's like a horse going for, cut the tape. It's like I'm metaphorless.
So the parents were just they were just like, this shouldn't be happening. Why isn't he going for the pizza?
Right.
And instead of just maybe letting that moment happen, letting me walk away with some dignity, they go, well, why aren't you getting the cookies and pizza, Ray?
Yeah.
What are you on a diet? In front of like 9 parents. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, no, I just don't really feel like eating pizza today. And there I was like, well, that's
Was that
weird.
the day you changed?
Well, I was already on the diet at that point.
Oh.
And then I was an active kid. I probably
I can't imagine being on a diet as a kid. Did you not play ball?
I was active as shit. All sports.
Why'd you get so fat?
It was just snack. It'd be like you double fisting
Why'd
Pop-Tarts.
you let yourself go, you fat fuck? Sorry.
It was, the divorce probably had something to do with it, man. Like the food was a comfort.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a comfort. You know how you hear women being like, that Haagen-Dazs makes me feel better. Like, well, fuck it. At,
That's definitely,
11 years old, I would eat, because I'd get teased. I'd go home and be like, well, at least I've got brown sugar Pop-Tarts to cheer me up.
It could go either way.
And then I was so active, though, I just stopped eating crap and ate pasta and salad, lost 40 pounds in like 2 months.
Wow. Did you play ball?
Yeah, I mean, sports, baseball, football, basketball, all through high school. And then I quit football my sophomore year to play Danny Zuko in Greece.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Big musical theater that's all I did in high school, and that's what, started the whole acting bug. But
Right.
coach
Isn't
was
that
not
funny?
happy about that.
Do you ever sing on stage?
Yeah. Every now and then.
It's funny because Dane
Trying to
Cook...
set me up to sing Grease Lightning right now?
I would love to hear it. I was talking to Dane Cook about backgrounds.
Yeah.
And we both come from children's theater.
Do you really?
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, sort of, yeah.
I mean, I did regular theater in college, but I was in an improv musical children's theater group
That's
in
awesome.
Dade County, and then I got my equity card in Philly by being in a children's theater, and the audition was fucking hilarious because I'm not a legit singer. I can
But you
sing.
can carry a tune.
Yeah, I can carry a tune. I can sing, but I'm not a singer. Like I wouldn't go this guy, but. Because I knew that, I sang Davy Crockett. You remember Davy Crockett?
Davy Crockett.
Right. King of the Wild Frontier. And I did it with so much fucking emotion that they were crying, laughing. Like I did it, I just...
Because you were just...
I did it as a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought you were really trying to
invest
sell it.
everything in it because I knew that I wasn't going to get it just by singing the high part in Wicked. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't going to get it from that, so... But it's funny. It's funny that people like they see us on stage.
They have no idea. I mean,
yeah. Well, yeah. How would you know?
I have no idea how fucking great we are, Dom.
Yes, that's why we're here podcasting. But,
and I wanted to do musicals at one point. Like, I just, so I quit football. And I even tried to make this coach.
Here's one transition on here. I quit football to do musicals.
The plays were such a big deal in our community in my high school. We would take field trips as kids to go see these shows, and it was such a big deal. You put it up on a pedestal.
Where'd you grow up?
Seattle, little town
you
called
grew up in Seattle?
Lake Forest Park, about 20 minutes north of the city.
I want to go back there. It's a cool town.
Yeah, I'm doing.
We'll talk about the Seahawks in a couple minutes.
Yeah. Sports were fun. Basketball was always my main sport. Football I did because it was with my buddies and it was fun. But the football coach was the most stereotypical, intimidating football coach. And, the offensive lineman who was a senior who I was below got injured. So he's like, you're going to start varsity as a sophomore. And he made me sophomore captain. And I'm lifting. I'm getting all big. But again, just because I'm like, it's fun to play football in high school. No part of me was, you don't hear like, there's no Jews in football. Another sack by Leibowitz. Like, that's not being,
Leibowitz just sold the team. That's what you hear. Leibowitz bought another team. But there was a time when Jews were like boxers.
Yes.
It so much has to do with where you're at economically too.
Why that is? As much as you joke about it, like why aren't there? Harvey Greenberg was a Jewish baseball player, and
Hank Greenberg.
Well, you know what's funny? Harvey Greenberg is the guy my mom dated.
Are you serious? Boy, it's all coming out. What am I, a fucking therapist all of a sudden? Harvey Greenberg.
I would always get those mixed up, though.
You son of a bitch. You were cursing at Hank Greenberg. Fucking guy was
fucking my mom.
You never walked in on her having sex, did
I was
you?
constantly trading his card.
Hank Greenberg. He's a little out of... He's before me.
Did I ever walk in? No. But I heard her and my stepdad once.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if they know that, but they do now. Let's just say I turned up. I think I was watching What Women Want.
What's that?
Mel Gibson movie.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why I remember the movie, but I think I remember everything about that day because I was kind of a...
Hearing your mom in bed with somebody?
Yeah, well, my stepdad, so...
Yeah, it's still weird. You don't think your mom is...
You don't, but you want that, though. Like, I still
You want her to be happy, but not that happy. Not like laugh out, not loud happy.
No, you want to be like, this is some good frozen yogurt, not like, hey, put that dick deeper inside me.
Yeah, right. You fucking whore master. Hit me. Hit me, you cocksucker. Hit me. I hope my fucking son hears this. Little prick.
Kept fucking calling Harvey Hank Greenberg. Oh, no, yeah, but, well, so, all right, so when I quit football, I tried to make a joke out of it, and I walked into the office, and I was going to be playing football to, for him, to please the coach, and my mom was like, that's no way to live your life, so I walk in there one day during summer weightlifting, and it was like 2 weeks away from the season starting, and I'm like, Coach, I think I might audition for the play this year for Greece and not play. He goes, you come back in 2 weeks and tell me the right answer. I go, okay, cool, great talk.
Yeah.
So I come back, and I try to make a joke out of it. I go, hey, I don't think I'm going to be able to memorize the playbook this year because I got to memorize the lyrics to Summer Lovin'. And he just goes, get the fuck out of here. I go, all right, great, thank you.
Nice to talk to you, Coach. Thanks for understanding that we have different options in life.
And then he ended up coming to the matinee with his kids.
Did he really?
And he was a basketball coach. Yeah. Well, I mean, he would, if I'd...
He coached basketball and football?
Yeah. And basketball was my sport, and it was sucked because then he'd be like, sorry, I don't have a script for this fucking play, Adam Ray. But it worked out. But, and that was I did that play, and then I realized I just got such a rush from just the live... and it was a lead. It was the first time I had a lead in anything, and it was again they were a big deal, and I got such a rush from the whole experience, and I was just like, I think I maybe want to try to do this.
Yeah. Now, do you ever miss performing with people, doing stand up?
Totally. Yeah. But that's a big part actually why I do stand up is because doing so much theater, from 5th grade all the way through high school and college, and then a few plays afterwards, like that. Just the live fix is, obviously you don't. There's more of a give and take with this than there is like doing a play, but I did improv for a while, but I definitely love what we do more because I don't know. I
like both, but I'm much more of a basketball player than a tennis player.
Totally.
I'd much rather be on a team and have the fun of a team.
It is. You're right.
I miss it. Like I love when somebody gets up and does improvs, or how we'll fuck around sometime if you're ever in here. With D'Elia and Brian Callen. I love that.
I'll do that with Andrew Santino every now and then. Him and I will come up on stage
he's funny.
And do things. He's great.
Yeah.
And we have a great rapport. We've done a bunch of, we did these 2 gay characters. It was almost like the Sklar brothers, but they were gay, and they would just rip on the audience. So our brains are completely on the same page, so it's like we're finishing each other's sentences, and we would just rip on the crowd and be really obnoxious gay guys. And shit, sometimes that was way more fun than ever doing a set because just having the, I don't know. Playing off somebody is more fun.
Well, my dream is to be so funny that I don't have to do my act. Do you know what I mean? Like if I can get to that point where you're just like improvising and
God, right?
It's fun.
Wait, so we're like what? So like you're people coming to see you in a theater and they love you so much that they just want to listen to you talk.
Yeah, just that you're being funny on the moment. I mean, it's pretty hard when you're doing an hour, but on these 25-minute sets, you can do it.
You're really quick.
Thanks.
I've seen you improvise a lot, and
I try.
Was there a point in your career where you just got good at that, or it's just?
No, I came from that background.
Yeah.
I came from, like I did children's theater, and then I was in improv groups. I did regular theater. I didn't start nearly as young as you, though. I started in college, and the reason I got into drama was totally because they didn't have term papers.
Oh, shit.
Totally out of laziness. I always was talented comedically, and I knew that. I was so bad at everything else, it was easier for me to focus.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like some people have more options. I didn't have many options. I was no Benjamin Franklin by any stretch.
Not to again piggyback and continue the Dom Irrera, Adam Ray link line here, but that's pretty similar to why I did it. I mean, I studied way hard in school to try to be good at get good grades, but like I never was like doing a fucking quadratic formula being like, I hope I get to use this someday.
Yeah.
And same thing with English or history. I never took an interest. I would always try to, in 4th grade, teachers talking, I had to stay in class and fucking write on the board, I will not be a, fucking piece of shit Jew.
I'll not be a douchebag.
Yeah. I will not be a Jew bag or whatever it was. And, but I looked over at my buddy while the teacher's talking. I did that thing where I like pulled my lip down, like that.
Yeah.
To make like big lips, just to make him laugh as the teacher's talking. Like I'm like, psst. Like that in fucking 4th grade, and I remember just hearing him laugh and other kids around him laugh, and the fucking feeling.
Teacher left?
No, the kids around. The teacher's like up here, and I'm like,
right,
like that, and all of a sudden I just hear the teacher stop talking.
Yeah,
and I was like, man, I fucking turn over, and he's this big dude. His name's Mr. Burger, and he goes,
Mr. Burger, Mr. Whopper Burger,
and he just goes, you think that's funny? And I was just holding lips, and I kind of like looked over, and I was like, they were laughing, and he was just like, why don't you go outside and think about that? And then he made me stay in, and I would put whoopee cushions on his chair during April Fools, and the whole class loved it, and put ice cubes with the fly inside of his coffee.
Yeah, but at least you were funny. You know, you get these. I can't believe some comedians that want to be not people that want to be comedians, not comedians. And I go, well, were you funny as a kid? No. Were you funny in high school? Not really. Where the fuck do you think he's just gonna start being funny?
No, it's got to be in you at some point, right?
Yeah.
And how early? I mean, I don't. Is there a? Because to me, that I trace back that type of stuff, or prank calling my friends, pretending to be girls they liked in school because I could imitate their voices.
Right.
Did that for about 3 weeks. Because again, I was a fat kid, and one of my best friends, skinny athletic kid, the new girl in town, has a huge crush on him. So he would tell me how he liked her, so I could imitate her voice, and I would call him and pretend to be her.
Yeah.
And I did it for about 3 weeks.
I love that kind of shit.
But that type of shit, I feel like it has to start at that type, right? I mean, just the same way when you're like, I practiced the trumpet from, or I was, figure skating at age 6,
Yeah.
I'm talking about D'Elia. Nobody knows that about him.
He was a figure skater?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how funny.
Him and Michelle Quant. No,
Could you imagine him?
No, he's not. But
he's not?
No, he's not.
Like
He just, the way he moves sometimes.
Yeah.
He probably wore some skates.
I love when he laughs at his own jokes.
Right?
It fucking kills me.
Yeah.
That makes me laugh more than his material, and I think he's terrific.
Yeah.
But
He's having a good time.
Yeah, I was in first grade. I knew, in first grade, I had a nun try to make a fool out of me.
What?
Seriously, she said, "You think you're so funny? Why don't you come up to the 8th grade?" And I went, "All right." And honest to God,
Come up to the 8th grade and make them laugh.
Yeah, talk in front of them.
By the way.
And I got to tell you, well, she was trying to make me humiliate me, and the desks were up to here on me, and I really had a good set. I swear to God, I did. I had a good. It was clean. I worked clean. But I don't even know what I said, but I remember them laughing.
You don't
and I was
remember?
thinking, nah.
But that's fine.
That was the first time I did stand up.
Was it really?
Yeah, I was 7.
What, did you even have? How did you? You don't even remember how you got into it? She just goes, "Hey, this little ragamuffin." I'm sure some sort of,
Mr. Irrera thinks he's funny. One of those things.
And then let's see if this is.
And I was funny. Yeah, I don't know what I said.
That's kind of awesome. So I mean, when you did your first special, did you thank her in it?
No. My first special. Have you done any specials yet?
No, this movie I just did is helping me get.
What'd you do? What's the movie?
It's a Sandra Bullock, Melissa McCarthy cop comedy from the guy who directed Bridesmaids. It's called The Heat.
Oh, cool. When's it out?
April 5th. The trailer just came out. It's I play one of the bad guys, and Bill Burr's in it. Michael Rappaport, Michael
cool.
McDonald. But Sandra and Melissa, I have about 5 scenes, and I'm in the whole thing, and got to improvise a ton, and so that's helped me just get. Some other little jobs.
Yeah.
And
Well,
auditions.
if you get hot in any area, it helps you in the other areas.
Right.
You'll get.
It's so funny how concerned I was with that stuff. Like, I mean, I've been doing stand-up 6 years, and I remember even 2 years in, I was just like, I got to get a special. I got to get, and thinking I'm good enough for that even. And then Brett Ernst told me one time when I went to La Jolla with him, he goes, "You know what you got to do, man? Fuck that shit, man. All right. First of all, look, don't get me started on the Cowboys, but the thing is, you got to just all that shit comes. Just be funny, be funny. All the rest of the shit's gonna happen."
Yeah.
And that advice just resonated so much because he was like, just get better and keep writing.
Yeah.
And that other shit, he's like, don't worry about that. That's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen.
I know.
And it's so harder. It's easier than said to really like let that, to apply that because
you think you're ahead of a lot of
course.
times you think you're ahead of where you are.
Yeah, because you'll get on a show with you and Dane and fucking Bill Burr, and you're like, all right. It's like, well, no, somebody just they gave you a set because sometimes you do okay.
Yeah. Well, this is tough competition too. This is unrealistic. This is not. Yeah, I mean, it's not fair to anybody. Whatever you were talking about, like some of the best acts in the world. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on a show here with Russell Peters, Daniel Tosh, and Dane, and I'm thinking, forget about me. That fucking show cost $1 million.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Not crazy.
Like, yeah.
These people. I mean, how many people when they come in here really understand how lucky they are to be?
They don't. I mean, then they start like. I mean, the other night, David Spade came on.
Yeah.
And I think they were like, David Spade's here, like. And then one of the women, which she shouldn't have done, she introduced Sean Penn, and he's upstairs. And
with the women.
One of the MC, she goes, and just a hand for Sean Penn, and the audience didn't clap, thinking he wasn't really here. You know what I mean? They're like,
wait, so she was just like, and how about Alan Thicke? Remember season 6 of Growing Pains? He was great. Wait,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
just like announcing that.
well,
he
she was just wanted to say we got a great actor in the audience, Sean Penn. Give him a hand. He's up there, and he's got his fucking hat on like this. He doesn't want to be introduced. He's here to watch David. You know.
So people also maybe think that she's full of shit.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
And then nobody claps.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that here with every big like star when they come on. It's Chris Rock or Seinfeld. That people are going, nah, he's not. He is fucking here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't maybe attribute that those people are coming out to comedy clubs, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. They think they live in another reality. They don't understand that they go to restaurants like we do. And
no, you know what's funny? Well, not to do a whole name drop thing, but so I got chummy in this movie with Sandra, Melissa, and Michael McDonald, guy from Mad TV. You ever watch
Michael
that show?
McDonald?
He was on with Bobby. He did a character named Stuart that was always
I'm
really
sure
popular.
I know him.
I'm sure you recognize him.
Because there's about 3 or 4 Michael McDonald comedians.
Are there really?
Yeah.
Well, there's the singer.
Well, there's she came from somewhere back in years long ago. But there's the one in Canada.
Yeah.
There's a Michael McDonald in Boston, but I'm sure I would know him if I saw. Was he on with Bobby Lee?
Yeah.
That group.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Aries, and but anyway, so we all like just as like since the movie like a hangout, like reconnect or whatever, went to Disneyland for a day, right? And and Sandra got us like a little tour, and we're walking around, and people come up to them here and there and see pictures, but like, and to me, after now getting to know them, like who they are is gone. They're just cool people that I get to be friends with, and walking through and seeing the reactions, especially from women, looking at them and being like, "What the fuck, Sandra?" Like how crazy, like to them to think that they would be there. Like
I know,
and they
it's so funny.
with their kids and they're eating popcorn.
Yeah.
That's why you see in the fucking magazines, and then. My buddy sends me the next day a picture from it was like one of the bullshit Us Weekly some shit of Melissa and Sandra and then me behind them eating popcorn, and I'm like,
like they're taking you for a walk.
Thankfully they didn't mention me because fucking I'm wearing my Mariners hat and I got my puffy vest on, and but just the reactions of people, I still know. Even
it is funny. It's funny when I remember like just being in Waco, Texas, in a mall, and I had a job in Midland, Texas, right. Really out there. It's like a moonscape. It's way fucking... And these teenage boys come up to me and go, "What are you doing here?" I go, "I got to be somewhere." You know? I mean, I'm either here or there. Like, it's got to be... Like, people, like, no matter who you are, you got to be... I mean, if you're the queen, you're in the fucking palace. But, like, regular people, they just try... like... Even if you're a movie star, you'd like to have a little bit of normalcy to your life. Normalcy.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like...
Of course, I mean because shit, especially now with all the paparazzi and the blogs and everyone can have. I mean, so those pictures that were in the magazines were probably from people that were just like, "Snap, let me sell this." So half the time I'm sure they're not even going out that much because it's like you're giving them something to sell every time you go to the grocery store.
Do you think there's a bit in about people going, "Oh, I would never want to be that famous." I'd never. And I'm thinking, like, you know what? You have nothing to worry about. You don't even. First of all, you don't even have a job. You don't. What are you famous? You're lucky. You can't get employment.
You just got fired from being a barista at Coffee Bean. What are you worrying about? People.
No, because
that's really funny.
You think so?
Yes,
I got to try it.
Because everyone can relate to that. Because I know I've said that even before when I was working at Universal Studios.
You can't go anywhere.
No, but I was working at Universal Studios, and even the kids that would come up to me, and I was like, God, man, if this is what it's like, I don't want this on a bigger level. Oh, I have any control.
Yeah,
at that
right.
point.
You can't go anywhere. Well, but you can go to your yacht. You can go to your private jet.
You can go to your island. That's named
your
after
island,
you.
right? No,
that's really funny. Yes,
well, I thought of it because a friend of mine said to me, she was an actress, right? And she said, I could have made it. Like one of these people. I says, well, what am I supposed to say? She goes, I could have made it. I had offers. I go, okay, Karen, I don't want to get into this subject. I love the girl. I just like thinking, what the fuck? And then she said, I would never, because I was going to Australia. And she saw it on my resume or my website. And I go, she goes, I'd never want to go to Australia. I go, Karen, nobody's going to fly you first class to Australia. You don't have an act. What the fuck? Don't worry about it. And I think that ties into that joke.
Totally. Yeah, the concerns that aren't even close to being realistic.
It's impossible. You're never going to have to worry about going out because you're so famous. What do you? What's your dream in this? Like if you had to be a great stand-up or a great actor. I hate to do that to you.
No. Well, here's the thing. I came here. I went to acting school at USC. I came here to do acting. I started doing stand-up, and I do a lot of web sketches. I worked at Funny or Die for did some exclusives for them, and now I work for SNL has like a YouTube page for Broadway through Broadway Video. They're like production company, so I do like shorts for them. But I started doing that and stand up because as soon as I graduated and was working at the theme park, and I wasn't getting auditions.
Working in the theme park.
I worked at Universal Studios for 7 years.
Really? What'd you do?
I was a tour guide on the Backlot tour first.
Did you do an impression of anybody? One of those Groucho guys or any of that?
Oh, I did Wolverine, the X-Men character.
Oh, really?
And then I played a 1940s cop, just a generic cop. So I'd make up my credits. Kids are like, "What are you from?" I was like, "Oh, I'm from a little film called I Got a Theater Degree, and this is where it fucking got me." Thanks for bringing it up, you asshole. And I would do bits like, you'd get people walking to the park at this night, swinging the nightstick. It's an area of the park that they considered 1940s New York.
Okay.
And so I would
Did you have an accent?
Yeah, a big Orville Redenbacher mustache. And I would talk like this, like, hey, blow my whistle at old ladies walking. I go, slow down, miss, you're going too fast. And they go, boop, I'm already going slow. That's funny. And I wasn't from anything, so I could just fuck with people. And then at one point, I remember it was hot, and I pulled out a squirt gun that was at a kiosk, and I started shooting little Asian men in the ass, and people were laughing, and I'd turn around and be like, it wasn't me, People get off on that, and my boss comes out and goes, "What are you doing? You have a squirt gun in 1940s New York? That really doesn't fit the time period, does it?"
A lot of shit doesn't fit the time
General,
period.
with all due respect, a couple minutes ago, a trolley drove by me with Five-O, Curious George, and SpongeBob blasting the song "Ooh-ee, ooh-ah-ah, ching-chang, walla walla bing bang." I'm not a history buff, but I'm pretty sure that fucking tune wasn't being played during the war. And she's like, "Well, it's your job to make people think it's 1940s New York."
Oh, God.
All right, well, there's $15 cotton candy bags over there. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, and then I hosted the Fear Factor live show they had. They had
they had a Fear Factor?
Yeah, it was once Fear Factor got popular, it was 1,500 seat theater. They would pack it in with this shit show.
And they'd have to eat cow's eyes and shit?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, we'd be like, I was the host. It was our job to make people think it was a great show on earth. So I'm like, "You guys ready to see these guys face their fears?" And everyone's like,
"Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Face your fears.
So they'd be
pussies."
These kids, you watch these people who voluntarily signed up for it eat we're going to have them eat. We'd tell them it was shit it's beaver labias and, goat cum and whatever.
Right.
And it was old milk and pickle juice. Still stuff that's not going to taste good.
Right.
Combined together. And one point, we're mic'd up. This guy drinks a bunch of the shit, and I'm looking out at the audience being like, "Come on, cheer him on, yeah." And the guy, I look towards him, and he looks back at me and just projectile pukes all over me. And
all over you?
Yeah, and I'm mic'd up, and hey, you can't really plan for a response when somebody pukes on you.
Yeah.
So, I'm a dude. Puke comes at me. Even if I'm not 25, even if I'm 10, I'm probably going to go, "What the fuck?" Which is what I said, mic'd up.
Right.
You hear this just in silence across the game because there's always kids. And then you hear people laughing because it's the moment. And my boss afterwards, big sweet gay dude, just like, what the fuck into the microphone? There's kids out there. I go, "What did you want me to say?" "Yeah, bring it on. Is that all the puke you got?"
Did he fire you?
No, because I was a good host. I think he.
Yeah.
Also, I think he understood. But
now, how was it getting in plays at USC, being an undergrad?
It was great. Well, so that's why coming down here to be an actor, I auditioned for there's a BFA and a BA, and you audition for the BFA, and if you get in, it's you and 15 kids for all 4 years.
It's Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Yeah, and so
for our educated audience.
And so we had 2 plays already in our syllabus or but by auditioning for that program,
by the way, syllabus has not been used in the show before. Thank you. Thank you for adding a word.
What happens? You get some sort of sponsor upgrade, or?
Well, I don't know, but it's good. It's good. Throw a couple more in, will you? Don't worry about being supercilious on this show. Let me be pedantic or didactic.
The bewilderment you're causing your audience right now.
That's right.
Could be at a high level.
Wait, we're doing well, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if you know. We're doing well
with the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see the views online.
Yeah.
You're great. You're great at this.
I love it.
This is definitely going to be a springboard for some other shit.
For another podcast.
You're definitely getting 2 more episodes out of this. Shit, man. I mean, hey, I'm an up and comer. You're not going to think that I'm going to fucking utilize you in some of my
obviously,
endeavors?
I wanted to have you on. Like I told you last night. It's in the end, it's my choice, and I always saw when I met you, I saw something in you that was special. I don't want to get like Sammy
Thanks, man.
Maudlin
No,
on
no,
you,
no, no.
but you know, it's like I wanted to have you on here, and like, then after you hit, you're gonna come back.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what the fuck? I'll do 5 minutes for him. Fuck, I don't have.
I'll never be that guy.
Well, it's because of your pain. Your pain humbles you. I love the fact that you brought that up right away.
Really?
Right in the middle.
How about the Hank Harvey Greenberg mishap?
That's an interesting Freudian slip, huh?
That's
Harvey Greenberg. Yeah. Well, how did we get to that? Because Jewish players? Or?
the Jewish player. Yeah, we've covered a lot. We're really kind of knocking down. Let me just tell you this real quick, and then we'll move on from my acting career. But you asked if I was an actor or comic first, because other people have asked this. Because now that stand-up has become such a consistent part of my life.
Yeah.
But that's why I started doing it, because again, you know, you graduate with a resume that says, you know, I'm walking into an audition for CSI, and they're like, "Oh, cool, you were in Vinegar Tom. What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I'm like, "Yeah, I played a witch hunter." They're like, "Cool, man. You're not gonna get this show." So I need other shit. Otherwise, like I have buddies who graduated with, they just did acting and they didn't have other things. So if they weren't getting auditions, they
Yeah.
were driving themselves crazy.
I know.
And so if I was like, oh, at least I can focus on stand up and videos, and I have something to take my attention off of the things I'm not getting. And then obviously like this, the more you get into it, I'd say about like, you know, I got past the store and then getting in here and then just pounding on the door and staying, you know, and not going up here a lot, and then, you know, and then going to Chicago with Chris and meeting Jamie, and then he lets me come in here a little more. But fuck, it took time. And
Oh,
then,
Chris took you to Chicago?
yeah, yeah. And
It's a good show, you and him.
It was great, and I opened for him here on his hour on Monday. It's incredible. And him and I started about the same time, and it's, you know, it's just fun too because we're buddies, but I still consider myself an actor first because that's what I came here to do, and that's what I want to do. I'd rather, like this movie, that's why, you know, shit, it took, what, 12, been down here for 13 years, and finally I get to do something legitimate of, you know, and it was just a tease. It was a month in Boston, and it wasn't long enough.
That's good, though. That's a good shoot.
But I'd rather do, I mean, now I'd say 3 years ago, I'd say, yeah, I'd rather be on a show than have a special. But now because I'm so in it, like in this world, and seeing the growth and getting better, and still it's like how it feeds you creatively.
Gets you hungrier. Once you get better, you think, how much better can I get?
Totally. And then and seeing like just in a year, and then the new shit I'll write in a week, and then, you know, it will just make me want to, you know, I'll go through spurts where I'll be stand up out, and I'm just like, I can't.
Fucking hard, ain't it?
And then I'm like, fuck it. And then one new thing, and then I, you know, about, you know, my friends having kids and posting their pictures of sonograms on Facebook and giving me shit for not commenting on them, and then fucking 10 minutes I rant on stage about it, and then I'm like, oh, that was kind of fun.
Yeah, isn't it amazing when you come to a writer's block, when you think, I don't think there's anything funny left in the world.
Totally.
You know, what the fuck? I did.
And you're
that's
so tired
it.
of your
If I
shit.
didn't say it, they said it.
Yep.
Everything's done.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
But then what happens? And then you go to
then
maybe a club, or you just wake up the next day and you just.
I know. And I love sucking the audience in.
Yeah.
You know, like certain bits that you get tired of, and there's one bit in my act, especially at a place like this, that I never get tired of because it sucks them in about how beautiful these young girls are, and I really mean it.
Yeah.
But they look hotter to me because I'm not nearly as good looking as I was. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you ever see me do that bit?
No.
I just say, you know, like, you're beautiful. I said, but let's face it, as you get older, you lower the bar. A lot of you girls are average, less than average, a little skanky, a little, but for, you know, like, basically, you know, because they really beam.
Of course.
When I go, you are like an angel without wings, floating around the earth.
Great
Look at you.
compliment.
And they're like, oh. And then
Harvey told my mom that.
Fucking hit him. Harvey told your mom that?
That's right.
Then she was screaming, "Give me that cock, Harvey! Harvey Greenberg!
Sounds like a Woody Allen movie. Give me that cock, Harvey.
Give me that cock, Harvey!"
Wait, so okay, so then you say you look like an angel without
Well,
wings.
yeah, I'm just saying that, like, certain bits, because, you know, I get fucking so tired of material, and that's the thing. That was the hardest thing for me to do, coming from improv, doing the same shit to hone it. And I understand it. I understand how hard it is.
Because you would start off just kind of making up your bits on stage and not actually try to construct an act.
Yeah, I didn't have an act. I just had some experience from being funny in other things, whether it was children's theater, regular theater, or I hardly did any serious parts. But the improv is what helps, because if you've got improv chops, you can always land on your feet.
Yep.
You know, if you're thinking fast.
Yep.
But it's
People want to
funny.
see that too. Like that's in just a few headlining gigs I'm starting to do now
Yeah.
from the movie. I'll try to do at least. I won't seek out to do like 15 or 20 minutes of crowd work, but I'm always wanting at least a quarter of the 50 minutes to be like that, because I don't want to listen to 45 minutes of just jokes. And I feel like if you can break the wall a little bit and mix it up and then go back to it, it's just more appealing, right, to watch and see.
Oh yeah, yeah. And the thing is, I never ask somebody something unless I mean it. I never ask somebody like
Where you're from, just to set your bit up.
Yeah, what's your background, what's your ethnic or racial background, whatever. I like because some people like a lot of these mixed race, women are fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
I was in Australia. It's like Scottish Chinese women. It's like holy shit.
Yeah.
Fucking those Asian eyes, but they're blue and they look like they're in fucking they're in
Avatar women.
color. Yeah.
But you ask because you're curious, and that's also one of the benefits of doing this is like the wide range of people that you get to kind of culturally educate yourself on and then but being able to do it is a blessing, to be able to talk to the person and not just go, where you from? Boston. I went to Dunkin' Donuts last week. They got something called a jelly munchkin. Sounds like something you get in Vegas, and but actually you have a conversation with them and then trust yourself that you're going to pull out something funny from the conversation, which you do a lot because you're good at it.
I was thinking of a thing, an irony for your career that would happen. That like that you had to gain weight for a movie, like you had to gain, and you were as fat as you were.
Back and steals my mom away. Okay.
You're as fat as you were in 6th grade, but you win an Academy Award. So everybody relates to you as being fat, and people love it. They fall in love with you. They get T-shirts.
And I have to stay fat.
You have to stay fat. That's your fucking. That's the. I don't know.
That's the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Of all the fucking all the thing you did to lose that weight as a kid, and now you're known as the fat guy, but loved by America again.
That's really funny. And you know what's really fucked up? Not impossible.
No, I know. That's the thing about...
Like, that's this business is so flimsy, and the things that become popular or the things that people flock to. Like, yeah, I could try my damnedest to be, this guy and make it, and then finally they're like, he's pretty funny as a fat guy.
Yeah, he turned
I like
on
that
us.
T-shirt. What was his catchphrase? It's taco titty time? That's pretty funny.
Well, Jason Alexander.
Yeah.
People will
taught
never...
me an acting class at SC.
He taught you acting class?
Yeah.
He's a great guy, huh?
Well, yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah. It was it great? No, you didn't say it like you...
Let me say this about him. He is a great guy. He's a great guy.
He's not that... He's not a real improv guy. He's very good at acting.
He's great at acting. And what he taught in that class was fantastic. And you know what? I have nothing bad to say about him. What just bummed me out is that... Are we good on time?
Oh, good. You okay?
Yeah. He said, hey, he gave out his email after this class. It was like a half a semester like scene study class. It was great shit. And he was like, keep in touch, whatever. I think I was starting to like get some of the networking bug, and I was like, I'll start emailing him every now and then just to follow up and let him know what I'm up to. And like he gives a shit that I'm fucking going to Seattle to do an open mic, Yeah. And but and I'd say, how you doing, whatever. He started doing the producers with Martin Short here. It's great. I go, I'm going to come see the show. Maybe my sister's in town. You think we'd come back and say hello? He goes, of course, come back, come backstage. And so we go afterwards.
Uh-oh.
Where do you think this is going?
Something not good.
So we go backstage.
Blew you off.
I'm on ecstasy. And I
Were you
start...
really?
No.
Oh.
And
you're a good actor.
thank you.
USC.
That's what I'm going to say is the fact too. I'm on ecstasy. And they go, are you really? And I go, nah. And everyone dies laughing.
Right.
So then after the show, my sister and I go see him, walking out of the parking lot. He goes, so what do you got coming up? And I just got accepted into this study abroad Shakespeare program in London. So I was going to go do that my junior year, and I told him about that. And I started kind of like trying to rattle off like what I've been up to impress him and also just tell him what I'm doing. And I go, I'm doing this. And I got in this London Shakespeare program. And he goes, whoa. And I went... and it just completely threw me off. And again, in my head, I'm wanting to impress is the wrong word. Let him know that I'm working, that I'm trying to progress. So when he went whoa and took it as if I was trying to be like, Alexander, I got into a London program. What are you up to? It really threw me off. And I was like, wow, you fucking I was just trying to. You asked what I was doing.
Yeah.
And then we had a couple more emails, and then I had one email that, it was a sloppy college, like not a lot of punctuation, a lot of dots to separate things and lowercase. And he said, your email was unreadable. Like, have you ever heard, it's like, try to use punctuation next time, Jay. And it was just like, okay. And I just stopped after that. I was like, I'm bugging the guy.
Wow. Well, you know what's interesting about it? You can't have everything in life.
Can't be friends with every Seinfeld character.
Right. But, I mean, you literally can't. Like, Jason is as accomplished as you could get in the character that
I don't fault him all for any of his actions.
No, but I'm
why
saying
would he care about
he'll never be 30 and good looking. You know what I mean?
You think that bugged him?
I think there's because I think that he is one of those guys that, and I love the guy, but I think it really it bothers people that are, especially when they're really good actors, that no matter what he does, he's George. No matter what he does, he could do fucking Broadway and Young Frankenstein or whatever. What was he doing? Producers. Any of that shit. I mean,
he had
that's
a show.
that's what flipped Michael Richards out. Yeah, he had a show, but nobody believes it. They go, look at George playing his character. Because
it was so popular.
It was so fucking huge. Do you know that?
And what's crazy though, look at like Matt LeBlanc or like the guys on Friends. They're able to break away.
Yeah, because they weren't as significant. When's the last time you heard somebody quote Friends? Ever?
Well, are you asking me to quote Friends on your podcast right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, Phoebe. That's my David Schwimmer.
Yeah, but you're not.
See, that's not a line.
You're not doing yada yada yada.
You're right.
Not doing.
It's staple.
It's not
of
that there's
American
anything
society.
wrong with it. It's part of our culture. It's amazing the impact it has. Like the only thing I could compare it to in my life is the Beatles. Like in the Beatles. Like last night, I'm here in the vestibule with two 19-year-old girls. One of them's.
Here we go.
No. The cash girl.
Oh, yeah.
Friends. One of my friend's daughters.
Right.
I'm going to be with a 19-year-old girl. It ain't going to be in this country, all right? It's going to be in Bangkok. But we were singing Beatles songs. I was thinking, fucking A. They knew every word.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're 19. It's like...
That's really... I don't know if sexy is the right word, but I love when... just anybody of that age that shouldn't probably know about that is like, man, I love the fucking Stones and or the Door. I don't know.
Well, because I like to not shut myself off. Like Lonely Island.
Yeah.
Like I love them.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I think they're fucking great. And I don't. I have my teenage goddaughter living with me, and it is so cool for me to be part of that. See that dick in the box and the whole. All that.
She's your into what's.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because I want to know what they think's funny too. Because one of the keys to stand-up, especially, is to cross generations.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be dead in the water. How many 50-year-old Goombas am I going to have coming to see me?
Which, by the way, I've been waiting to compliment you on this. Watching those old sets of yours on, like from Carson and shit like that, and then just seeing you around, the fact that you have not only stayed really funny but gotten better and is pretty fucking ridiculous. How long have you been doing it?
It's 1980.
Like, the fact that you still crush and are funny and, like, have evolved, like you just said, and kind of, like, because you're staying up to date on shit.
Trying, yeah.
And you're a humble guy, so you're not going to maybe make a big deal out of it, but I'm sure you realize that that's not easy that you're doing that.
I appreciate it. I just think it's like sports, It's like, has nothing to do with anybody else. Like, it has to do with me being competitive with myself, thinking if I don't get better, I'm going to get worse. And that's the only advice I could give, like, as far as never sit on it and think, I made it. Because if you think that, you get cocky, you're done. And, we've seen it.
We're not going to name names, but
we've seen it here. We've seen it. We see people go up, and, all they can do is go down. But it's a brutal ride because you don't, anyway.
But even that Carson clip, man, I was saying, the big bone, like, that holds up now.
Oh, thanks.
I don't know if you ever look back at shit and, like,
no, I can't watch myself, especially.
But you wouldn't pull an old joke and, like, do it now, or?
I do it if somebody tells me about it. There's one joke that I have to remember about. From the Rodney Dangerfield thing that I want to do again, but I have to watch it because I don't remember the words. But it was about you could tear the guy's arm off. These guys, I'll fucking kill you. A guy tears his arm. Hey, that was my favorite arm. I used to hug my girlfriend with that arm. Whatever. There's some joke in there, like that's some of it, but I don't know. But what I was going to tell you, and not to be lectorial.
Please.
The one thing that I would say is never lose stand up now that you got it. You know what I mean? Never no matter how big a star, whatever you become in acting, because you would miss it because you never. If you lose it, you really lose your chops. You know, if you stop doing it for 10 years
Oof.
and then you want to come back, it's really hard. I've seen it with some big stars that come back and it's just not the same.
It also, I feel like, keeps you, brings you back. I mean, shit, man. You see, like, Chris Rock, my second year in stand-up, I was, doing a bringer show in the main room. Chris Rock comes in with a notepad to work out
Yeah,
or
of
something.
course.
The crowd, maybe 20 people there, he did not kill by any means.
No.
And I'm sure he's not at a level where he's basing that set on, did I kill at the main room in front of that fucking The Bringer show? But I'm sure even just hearing a lot of silence and him working, but maybe 2 of the 10 bits he worked out in the 20 minutes, you could tell he really worked out. And then a lot he was just almost reading to be like, do you think this is funny? And I'm sure even at that level, right, like you hearing the silence and trying something and it didn't go over well, you could see on his face, it was like, okay, shit, well, I thought that was funny. Like, and that probably just keeps the fire hot.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's when you're making millions. Like, I remember Bruce Springsteen when he hit, and he was singing about a '57 Chevy, But now everybody knows that his '57 Chevy has a jet engine in it now.
Right.
He doesn't have to really sing. It's pretty hard for him to sing about that shit. And that's what happens to some stand-ups. They become so successful, like Tim Allen. A good stand-up, but when he came back after Home Improvement, he's doing a bit about a Lamborghini. It's like, what the fuck, Tim? Nobody has a Lamborghini except you. You know what I mean? Like, don't lose sight of But anyway,
and that's where he should have been maybe talking to his kids during that whole time and standing up on and coming in with like, maybe even if it was like, what's going on with this Bieber kid? At least you're like, it's current and you're maybe bringing your perspective on right.
I
don't know.
He was in here one night and. Bieber. He's sitting up there.
Oh, yeah. I got a picture with him. He saw my motorcycle outside. Oh, he loves it. Bieber knows I played with the Wallflowers.
It's funny. Does he play with the Wallflowers?
Who, Dean?
Huh?
I was doing Dean Del Rey.
Oh, yeah.
Dean was here one night and got a picture with Bieber. And I remember when he was like, oh, it's on my Twitter page. Bieber saw my set. Now he requests me.
He said to me, you hated me, didn't you? I said, no, because he was on the podcast.
Yeah.
I mean, he totally fucking just barreled his way on.
Dean did?
Well, he just was,
I
knew that he wanted to do it so badly, and he was good, and I like him a lot, but it was just like, I just got to get him, like Jamie goes, no, what are you doing? I go, please, let me have more, it's like. Yeah, he's.
Wait, so Bieber came in here?
Oh, and he's up there, you know how this is when you know it's really a kid. He said, they wanted me to address that he was in the audience. And he's like leaning over, waving to people. Like he wanted the attention. Like he don't get enough attention.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Like that's you perform in Madison Square Garden, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's
he wasn't a bad basketball player.
Saw him in that All-Star game.
Did you see him? He can handle. I mean, he can handle. I mean, a little white kid.
Lefty, I think too, right? Wasn't he?
I don't remember.
Not an important detail. Great voice.
Basketball was. I was a basketball junkie.
That's my sport.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have another, like a separate link to a podcast where we just talk basketball.
We'll talk sports the next time.
Okay.
But that was the reason I delayed being. This is so funny. Talk about the children's theater. The reason I delayed being a stand-up because I was in leagues in Philly and I didn't want to leave my friends to become a stand-up. I knew I could do that the rest of my life, but I couldn't play basketball. You know what I mean? So when you're 30 now, enjoy every fucking minute of being able to jump that high.
Well, I had ankle surgery 2 years ago because I broke it.
Oh, did you?
And the doctor, he goes, it looks like a bomb went off in your ankle, and he basically put it back together.
Wow.
Because I go, luckily, a lot of my insurance took care of it, but I mean, I literally, I was like, I'm not done. I want to play till I'm fucking 80. Like, I want to be that old guy spitting on kids, elbowing them in the dick and fucking massaging them and whispering, sexual shit in their ear while I go up for a rebound.
Nice cock, kid. What'd you say, mister?
Nothing. 6'4". And, but, I mean, because I wanted to play. I mean, I told my mom I was going to be in the NBA when I was a kid. An NBA basketball player or a Ninja Turtle. Neither were Jewish, I found out. So, and she... And basketball, I mean, I was the kid when we didn't have hoop, the garbage can in the fucking driveway, shooting in that shit in the rain. It was also an escape from all the bullshit, quite honestly, because I was by myself shooting hoops. It's like therapy for me now. I mean, so I'm in this comic league now because I had the surgery. I was like, I want to keep playing, and I brace it up and everything.
Any of the comedians any good?
There's a handful that are really good, and our team was pretty stacked. But there's, I mean, shit. Who would you know that's really good? I mean, there's a lot of guys who are good and who play. There's a handful. You know a kid named Paul Morrissey? Jeff Keith?
Probably not going to know them if they're good. I probably know the bad ones.
There's a couple kids that played like D2, D3.
Uh-huh.
And then like, you know, and there's guys like me who just played their whole life and still played that were always like good in high school and got better as you get older because you just get more confident in your shit. And when I was younger in 6th grade, I was the tallest kid. And then but I shot threes all the time when I would practice. So I was a big kid and fat and quick who shot threes. And I remember in our championship game in 6th grade, we played this all-black team, which we'd never even seen an all-black team before. And we beat them by 2 in the finals. And I remember these black kids, like, and their parents, I just remember their looks. I'll never forget looking at this fat kid running up and down the court, shooting threes, spinning around these kids. They were just, I mean.
Well, yeah, that's a whole different podcast. But they think they own the game. We used to have a lot of battles.
But hoops, I mean, I never. I mean, you're right though. But I get so sore now. Even at 30,
can you still jump?
Yeah, I mean, I've never had hops, but I mean, I'm a banger and a hustle, nonstop hustle and.
What?
I can't say that. Fuck. I mean, that's just nonstop hustle out of me.
I'll give 110%. You can't give 110%.
But I banged down there because I did so much when I was a big kid, younger, as far as like really getting physical. And I like welcoming on. I'm never complaining about fouls if I'm giving it and they're giving it back. But like, these refs are always so terrible. I got a technical foul in the last game from the bench because one of our guys got hammered to the ground, and he had not been calling anything on me all game. And he literally, the guy like tackles him to the ground, and I stand up and I go, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And he just goes, "That's enough of that shit."
But you think you're going to get the best refs in a comic league?
They don't give there's a guy in a wheelchair. We have a ref in a wheelchair.
Really?
And quite honestly, he's the best ref.
Wow. That's a lot of fucking wheeling back and forth.
It's more wheeling.
Hey, High Pockets, come here. Well, listen, man, the next time you're on...
Should we do it when the movie comes out?
Well, or I was thinking of getting your father on with you to apologize for devastating it like that.
Why don't we get Harvey Greenberg on?
Harvey Greenberg.
Talk about fucking my mom.
Talk about
his baseball days.
It's a perfect way to end the show. Adam Ray, thank you.
Thank you, man. You're the
best. Take care. You got a...
I got a Twitter at Adam Ray Comedy, and all my videos and stand-up and dates are on AdamRayTV.com. And I'll be on Workaholics in January.
Oh, yeah? Cool.
Yeah. And then the movie's April 5th. It's called The Heat.
At Dom Irrera, I'll be at Raleigh, North Carolina, good nights, New Year's Eve, and then Tampa.
You'll be there New Year's Eve? That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I get to see the other half of the family, the part that rejected me. New Year's Eve, and then Tampa in January and Knoxville in January. Thank you. Great job.
Thanks, buddy.
Great to have you on.